What's going on, everyone? My name is Nicholas Merton here at DataDash, and today is May 28th of 2018. Well, folks, it's time for a daily update here on the DataDash channel, and today we have a lot of key things to discuss here on the update. First and foremost, as always, though, we're going to be spending a good amount of time taking a look at market valuations as well as doing some technical analysis on the market leaders. But outside of this, we really have some key headlines to discuss in regards to China. Some positive news in regards to the fact that a blockchain committee is looking to be formed by the end of the year in China to set some of the goals and standards for blockchain-based projects. But in regards to the bad news, there has been a recent bad PR case in regards to the entire blockchain space in China. We'll get into the details as to what that is, what happened, and why it might be partially tied to some of the recent price drop we've seen in cryptocurrencies. Not a big catalyst in my opinion, but we'll definitely talk about it later on. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about what's on everyone's mind at the moment, guys, and what has been on our minds for the past few days, weeks, and really for most of May now. So, in regards to the negative price action we've been seeing in markets, I understand it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day and you're checking your Blockfolio account or whatever portfolio thing you use, and everyone has just obviously been ravishing at the recent price action. Understandable, completely understandable, guys. To be fair with you all, again, I've been hodling some of my long-term positions. It's definitely not fun to see some of them go down, but to be fair, you know, what's happening right now is that we're getting very, very close to, again, what we've been talking about on the channel, which is hopefully support for Bitcoin at the $7,000 range. Now, if we break through this, we're definitely going to have a big intervention in regards to talking about, you know, what's going forward, but for the most part, we're getting very, very close to that support level to get a triple bottom in the market. And again, at this moment, I'm not really fighting. I'm not getting fearful in the market. I'm not selling off all my altcoin positions. In fact, again, like I told you all about 2 or 3 days ago, I've been stacking up on positions. Some of them are still up. Some of them I'm generally around the neutral range of where I purchased them. Some I'm slightly down on. So we'll take a look at that later on when we do some TA. For the most part, though, across the board, outside of a few random players here, we are mostly in a sea of red. Nothing, again, that we haven't seen before in crypto. It's not another 15 or 20% day, but definitely still in the red, so it's not fun to deal with, obviously. If we go here to take a look at market valuations, we can take a look here and see that market cap has again made a new low for the past month, going down from $470 billion all the way down to $314 billion over the past few weeks. Volume, however, is stagnant. We're really not seeing any growth, whereas we saw a lot coming in on the buy side. We are not seeing a matching sell side amount, which is good in that regard, but it still just shows the single most biggest issue, in my opinion, in this market is that we just don't have a catalyst yet that has brought in new liquidity to the space. And again, you know, right now it's been leaving a ripe environment for not only market manipulation, but for you know, people like leverage traders and all these people who are looking for short-term benefit. You know, so it's not really looking like we're going into a full cycle just yet. I think we're about to enter into one in June. Again, it's my general case right now, but you know, and the current case we're in right now, I think we've got a few down days, and we'll talk about that as we go throughout the video. So as you take a look here, Bitcoin dominance looks like it's going steadfast for 40%. I don't think you're going to see it anywhere close to where we saw it in regards to April. But again, we could see another percentage point or two if we get another down day or two down towards 7,000. Would be pretty understandable on a mathematical sense. But for the moment, Ethereum has started to dip over as EOS mainnet comes up. Some people have been theorizing as EOS selling all of their Ethereum that they raised into the mainnet launch. I don't know about that, guys. Ethereum has had a nice run compared to a lot of the large caps and has held a lot of its gain in regards to the bear market. So could just be a general correction of that sort. But again, there's always usually something going on in the background. All right. Well, anyways, oh, sorry, I forgot my webcam there blocking the way probably. So to give you guys a good picture, Bitcoin dominance almost towards 40%. Other coins still holding, not really losing much dominance. It's more of Ethereum at the moment in regards to losing the market share, as well as Bitcoin Cash, which has had a big rally as of recent back in April. But what I really want to spend some time focusing in on, guys, is taking a look at Bitcoin and talking about a really interesting trend. We'll take a look at that in just a second, but I want to let you all know that we're doing a thing in regards to the Discord community, something I think also that will help us get through all this craziness, but also something that I thought would be good for the Discord and just something we could all do as a community, is we're making DataDash memes. So if you guys have any, or you can also make crypto memes if you want. It's not just about DataDash, but the Data Dash community, anything in regards to crypto. We're making memes. If you guys want to help submit them, I'm not only going to be putting some like general kind of stock photos of myself and the Data Dash logo and crypto into the channel, but we have a text channel in our Discord called, I think it's a meme competition. I might be wrong on that, but it should be a channel that stands out where you guys can go in there, submit your memes. I'll put some stock photos up probably in the channel so you can grab those, post some memes, have a few good laughs. This is one of my favorite ones so far by Colm, one of the moderators in our community. That is pretty good, using the distracted boyfriend meme, one of my favorites. Anyways, let's go ahead and spend some time to talk about Bitcoin's price, because interestingly enough, it looks like it's scooping right down into that zone where we're looking to hopefully find support. And again, we don't want to believe, guys, that I would like this to be the case, but in most cases, it is not going to be an instant rebound off of 7,000. Okay, there's definitely probably going to be some support. We can see it in the order books that there's a lot of buy orders coming at these big even levels. It always tends to happen. That's why Bitcoin has held here for the past 2 times. And again, as we see this slope and the sell-off of price action where it's starting to slow down and turn into a level of support, I think if we get the triple bottom on this, if we hold much like we saw back here in late March as well as early April, where we can hold price around this range, generally around 6,800 to 7,000. If we can do that, I think we're going to set up truly for the next rally, and we can start seeing it as early as June. Now again, guys, we don't want to be eagerly bullish. We have to have something that's going to draw volume in. And that's been the case for the past month or so. We've been realizing that there's a liquidity crisis right now. If we take a look at the weekly, there's just not new traders coming into Bitcoin at the moment. It's just fact. But we aren't seeing much of a drop off anymore, which is nice. So we have to wait. We have to see if we can get some more liquidity coming at these buy areas down here and possibly confirm the triple bottom for a reversal. And then also have the fundamentals follow as well. That's the general case with Bitcoin. Now there is something to point out here. As someone pointed me, and again, I always like to look for patterns in markets. And again, this isn't always, I'm trying to think of the term in regards to, I can't think of it right now. But anyways, basically, correlation equals causation. That's what I meant to say. In regards to correlation causation, I don't like to always say, guys, oh, look at this. Like, this is obviously the thing we should be using or going off of in regards to our trading. But this is something interesting that someone had pointed out in the live stream the other night. And that was the fact that on the 6th of every month for the past 5 months, we have seen that on the 6th we either have the bottom before we get a continued rally in Bitcoin, or rejection in price for a continued downturn. And look at this. It's literally what it's done every single time. It has literally been the first day before you initially get an uptrend or a downturn in Bitcoin's price, interestingly enough. So because of this, many people are thinking that we're going to see Bitcoin go down, down to the general price range we've all been looking at 7,000. And on the 6th of the 6th, on 2018, we're going to see it completely moon off. Look, I don't know if that's the case, but I thought I'd just point it out as something a little bit interesting, because I know you guys like to look for a lot of different trends and patterns. And if you're like me, you're a chart junkie, and you love looking at these kind of trends and finding the undercover tones that price is giving off. But for me, look, the main point of this, guys, is that I think in a TA sense, it's the triple bottom we're looking for. And if we break through that, I mean, we might have to wait a while. Maybe these markets do have a ways to go from there. Honestly, I just don't see it happening for me personally. So we'll have to see. I might be proven wrong. I'm someone who thinks that we're going to see a Bitcoin ETF this year. I'm a little bit on the exuberant side of things. In regards to Ethereum, though, we have been seeing some serious dumping of Ethereum over the past few hours. And if we take it to other exchanges like Binance, we're seeing the exact same thing. Volume and price all across the board are not looking too nice. So with this depletion here, is Ethereum going in more towards a bearish tone? Well, what's nice is that we actually have, it appears, almost been given an opportunity to garner support on the 50-day right there. However, if we start to roll over with other altcoins, this could start to see some blood. Many people are theorizing that this is EOS selling all their Ethereum. Guys, we don't know if that's actually happening. I don't think Dan Larimer would do that. But again, all kinds of interesting stuff that goes on behind the scenes. We don't know. The fact of the matter is right now is that volume has stopped rushing in on most exchanges to Ethereum. And if anything right now, we're seeing institutions lock in their positions right now. Not to mention we are generally seeing red across the board. So it's nothing too shocking at the moment. So for Ethereum here, I'm going to wait. If this keeps on depleting down below the 50-day, I'll stack up on some Ethereum. Obviously, I think it's definitely got a ways to go in regards to the uptrend with the altcoin cycle coming. But again, might need a little bit more room in the short term to go down. XRP BTC, Ripple, again, still holding at this key level here. I never did enter into the trade in regards to Ripple. As you all know, I was looking to possibly do a trade if it could get above 86,000 Satoshis, get past this kind of sideways pattern that we've been seeing. And Ripple is actually, I got to be fair, compared with most altcoins, it's been holding quite well. But the fact of the matter is, until we get a break above 86,000 Satoshis, I'm not going to engage in a trade. So at the moment, keeping patient. Bitcoin Cash to Bitcoin, breaking below the 50-day, could not hold. Again, guys, for me, I knew I didn't want to buy into any of these highs over here after this uptick. And thank God I didn't, because it saved me a bunch of the Bitcoin I would have put in. So again, this looks like it has a ways to go down, probably down back to the range where it started, because the volume is not there anymore. No one's coming in to buy Bitcoin Cash at the moment. Going on here to take a look at the big player everyone is concerned about, EOS, as mainnet comes up. I think this is going to continue to do well as people are getting excited, registering their tokens, all kinds of stuff. Again, if you guys don't have your tokens on an exchange like Binance, make sure to register them. So you're going to need that in regards to EOS. But going on here though, guys, as we've seen a slight correction over the past few hours, we've started to see a rebound back in price, matching volume coming back into the buy side. I think EOS is going to hold strong. It's going to do well going into mainnet. There's a lot of excitement about it, but again, it might be a buy the hype, sell the news kind of event. So you definitely want to be careful and stuff again. And for me, when I made my addition back here, I've not only done well so far, but it's more of a fundamental holding. Okay, I'm not trying to trade this, not trying to go off any hype. I bought into this thinking that hopefully it'll be the next Ethereum in regards to the sense of price action. We'll have to see if it can really hold up to that. I like Dan Larimer. I like the fundamentals of the project. They've got a lot going for them. Delegated proof of stake, lots of good things coming in regards to tech. As we go on here, let's go ahead and take a look at a few more players. Icon continuing to deplete, going down towards our target as we were talking about at 3,000 Satoshis. Not much you can do here. EDA BTC, same case as well. I'm going to see if this can hold around 2,500 Satoshis. If not, it's probably going to go down, test the same level it's seen before at 2,000 Satoshis. I think that's the worst case you're going to see for Cardano in that matter. Going on here to take a look at a few more players. Nulls BTC. Nulls coming down, garnering support around 45,000 Satoshis. Hopefully it can hold here, and what we can see hopefully is that this comes smoothly down onto the rising 50-day moving average, and from there hopefully you see the confirmed cup and handle and an explosion hopefully into June as we hopefully embark on the altcoin cycle that we've all been looking for, the bull cycle in the market. That's my general case for nulls. One thing I want to talk about is my trade on IOST. This is, again, not a fundamental holding, but a trade that I've entered into. I entered in back here when the market was dipping. Pretty much almost picked the bottom on it, luckily, as I started to see there was some support garnering on the price. And I got it around like 489 Satoshi, something around that range, in the 480 sat range. And so far, I've been up on it. I haven't cashed down on it. Still waiting for this to go up. I think this will get above the 50-day. Hopefully, try to continue moving higher if we start to see some more positive price action in the market. There's obviously been some buyers coming in at this range. So I think this has been not only going well, but I think it'll continue to do well. The big thing I want to push across the board, though, guys, in regards to the market, I mean, I can go through here on my watch list. You have players like Aeon and the protocols we went through earlier, Nulls, Cardano, Icon, EOS, you just look across the board. IOTA, I mean, across the board, protocols are generally cheap right now, which is the name of the game. Qtum down close towards its level it was back in March. I think it's going to probably come down to around 150,000 sats. Again, I would focus on finding fundamental protocols that you like, that have good developments going on. There is a lot of exciting players in this market again, where everyone is getting very fearful. The big thing I want to focus on, guys, is that there is not much real serious institutional sell side. It's retail volume. It's a few whales pushing the market right now. There is no liquidity that's really selling off on these cryptocurrencies at the moment. It's mostly a lot of big buy candles coming in and them waiting for the next altcoin cycle. So we know what the institutions are doing. They're buying in at these levels. That's the big key point here that I want to drill in, because I know some people are really fearful in the market right now, but you should get greedy when other people are fearful, everyone. It's why I've been successful in crypto, for at least for my trading and investing, and I hope you guys can do the same. Again, I want the best for you guys. You got to make your own decisions in this market. Can't tell you guys when to add or to sell anything, but at least you know where I stand. So maybe we have to wait for the 6th of the 6th in 2018. Who knows? Maybe that'll be the catalyst. And it would make good formation, again, as we were talking about with the triple bottom. I think that's really where the sense of all this comes in. Anyways, going on here, let's talk about some of the positive news. So China has obviously announced, this is something that kind of CoinDesk is making kind of daily news. I do want to be transparent with you guys that this has been a development that's been announced for some time back on May 9th, but it is something that I think we should talk about on the daily update, because we should have some good and some bad in regards to the news. There's definitely some bad news in regards to the daily news, but in regards to some positive news, and something that I really want people to get, is that China at the moment is taking a very positive tone to blockchain compared to what people think. Now, it's not the best perspective that we've seen with governments. Obviously, you're not going to probably see that in a kind of quasi-free market, kind of state government-run world where they like control and they're worried about money exiting the country. There's a lot of issues with crypto in China, but in the sense of blockchain, and I would assume in some case some crypto innovation, China is definitely not looking to be left behind in this, guys. The idea and the thought that China is going to sit back and let this revolution take off in other countries, I honestly don't think that's the case. They want a sense of control, they want a sense of understanding, they don't want it to be used for the wrong purposes, and that's the general function of a government, whether you like it or not. That's just what a government's going to do. And in this case, they're at least going about announcing that there's going to be a blockchain committee. So as you go through here, they spend a little bit of time in regards to the details of what they want to build, what kind of standards they want to set. You can go deeper outside of just the articles and actually go through the source that they linked. I'll actually go ahead and show you where it is. The TC307, which is what it's going to be based off of. You can go here and take a look in regards to some of the standards and some of the ideas that they're going to look towards implementing for the General Committee. So this is some positive news in regards to the kind of I wouldn't say legitimacy. I don't think that's the right term. I would say the anticipation for kind of investigating into blockchain and trying to learn about its potential for different use cases in China. But in the sense of negative news, we need to be fair and talk about this. There has been a lot of backlash about a recent event in China. I think Box Money has talked about this as well. He's very, very fortunate because he's based in Hong Kong and everything. He caught the story very early on. But this is something that has been brewing. He isn't lying. There's been a lot of talk in regards to China about this recent event. And it's basically this event that went on that was promoting blockchain technology. Obviously, on the surface, it sounds nice. But they had someone who was imitating one of the founders of the People's Republic of China, Mao Zedong. And basically, again, you have to understand culturally, I mean, it's kind of like, mocking, for example, the president here in the United States. We're in a country where, we're not so politically correct. And along with that as well, in regards to criticizing someone, we can criticize the president, we can criticize, some senator, or congressman, or, comedian or celebrity. We can do whatever, But in regards to China, in a sense of culture, in a sense of governance, Mao Zedong is not someone you want to make fun of, and nor do you want to make fun of any of the leaders in China or any of the high-level officials. It's just not seen as proper. It's a big cultural difference. And because of this, they actually had someone imitating Mao Zedong saying that he had endorsed blockchain technology. And yeah, you can probably guess how that went down. There was a lot of outrage, people actually leaving the area where the event was hosted, not just the event center, but actually the area of China where this was hosted. So The actor, I'm not going to pronounce his name. This is his name right here. Has been getting a lot of backlash at the moment, and this has left a lot of people who didn't know about crypto or blockchain having a negative impression. And quoting, I think, Boxman, he said that this is probably going to set things back 6 months. So I'll take his word for that. I think these are not good cases. We have to make sure that people don't abuse these cases. There's a reason the people did this. It's obviously a PR stunt. It was obviously to get people talking about it. But the fact of the matter is that we don't want bad actors doing stuff like this. We can't have a bad name for blockchain for people who are just getting entered into the space. So again, we need to go out there, stop the disinformation, stop these cheesy tactics, stop the BitConnects of the world, and really get into the fundamentals and the nitty-gritty part of what this technology is all about. Well, anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, make sure to give a like if you guys can. Leave a comment down below on what you think in regards to any of the topics we talked about. Make sure, if you get the chance, submit your memes. There's 2 days left on the meme competition. Best of luck out there, guys. In regards to everything, though, thank you all for watching the video, and I will see you all in the next one. Stay tuned.